Chapter 10. Although Wen Miaohua coveted Mao Mao's furry head, she also clearly realized that this was impossible. After all, she still refuses to let her mother and the others touch her lazy worm that sleeps every day. The way Mao Mao eats obediently attracts the attention of many high school students in adolescence. Girls are obsessed with the cuteness of Mao Mao, while boys care about Mao Mao's fire attributes. But no one dared to step forward to observe. Wen Miaohua was still here. After eating and drinking, Mao Mao obediently returned to the beast-controlling space. This time, more students also saw the scene of Li Chang'an's contract formation unfolding, and some showed a bitter smile, or a look of longing. But in general, they have distanced themselves too far from the male and female evil spirits in Hongyan No. 1 Middle School. Not only academic performance, but also achievements in the field of Beastmaster. Constructing a soul contract and opening up a beast-taming space are all obstacles that stand in the way of the beast-taming master's door. Without any one of them, it is not considered a true beast-master. Li Chang'an invisibly filled a large cup, although he didn't notice it himself. Because, in his opinion, it is not too difficult to construct a contract and open up space, and it does not cause any obstacles to him. Instead, the sudden appearance of the hunting notes, the sinful temptation that penetrated deep into his soul, made him fearful for several days. The high school students watched the male and female evil spirits leave, and the food in their mouths tasted like wax. It is said that during the geography and bestiality exams in the afternoon, many students came out crying, and their mentality was so bad. Part of the reason is that this year's animal language is a bit difficult. Of course, this has nothing to do with Li Chang'an. Mao Mao is also part of his strength. The first day of the final exam ended like this. After Li Chang'an returned home, Mu Qingqing cooked a big meal to reward his son. "Your dad will be back the day after tomorrow, so we'll discuss your matters then." Li Chang'an nodded to indicate that he understood. Mu Qingqing didn't teach him anything new today. So he went over the preparation of pet food for the test tomorrow in the kitchen. For the final practical exam of the second year of high school, each student made a basic pet food is graded according to its final quality and effect. The students of Hongyan No. 1 Middle School determined the direction for the sophomore exam during their summer internship in the freshman year of high school. Everyone will then determine which attribute of the basic pet food to make. The choice is very important, because after passing the test, the people from the Hongyan Ecological Research Institute will arrange for the students to choose which attribute of the pet according to the attributes of the food they make. If you choose to make water-type food, you will choose the initial pet of the water type. At this time, someone he would say that what if the talent awakened by a student in the awakening ceremony of the first semester of high school is the fire element, and the initial pet beast selected is the water element? The answer given in Xiao Chang'an's memory is, don't care at all. Because the Beastmaster. Choosing the initial pet beast is not at all for powerful attributes, but which practical abilities can be inherited from the initial pet beast. After all, before the king-level Beastmaster, only the initial pet beast can provide 100% ability inheritance. Therefore, those who have a single pet beasts in the awakening stage with good practical skills and racial talents have become hot commodities. For example, the water-type bubble turtle has a high probability of only having one skill during its awakening stage, clear water healing. It has 2 racial talents and has the highest probability of appearing. The hydrotherapy, or turtle's breath, that appears very rarely. The hydrotherapy talent is in a water attribute environment and can provide continuous healing effects, The turtle's breath talent is even more outrageous. The effect of this talent is to reduce the passage of life. In short, it has the effect of extending life. The effect can probably extend the life of 150 years. Therefore, the price of bubble turtles is several times more expensive than some dragon pet beast eggs. There are many examples of bubble turtles, and many new beastmasters with strong backgrounds. They are not aiming for the powerful initial pets, but for those abilities that are not so good on the pets, but shine on humans. Nowadays, the initial pets of beastmasters with fire element talents are water elements. Things are over. Xiao Chang'an originally planned this. He planned to contract a wood-type pet beast, preferably a wood-type pet beast with the talent of plant affinity. Unfortunately, this vision could not be realized. Li Chang'an chose as Mao Mao's initial pet beast. The power of the ancient dragon is enough to overwhelm all powerful abilities. Not to mention, what if he inherits an ability unique to the ancient dragon? In short, there are many benefits. However, Li Chang'an is still interested in the Ecological Research Institute's The Pet Beast became interested. As the only son of the deputy director of the Institute of Ecology, he naturally knows how unique the pet beasts inside are. Even if he cannot inherit the ability, it is good to contract a wood pet beast that can heal. Tuesday morning's creature. The comprehensive exam is over, and it's time for the pet food preparation exam in the afternoon. The sophomore students gathered at the entrance of the gymnasium and entered in batches to take the exam. The playground was occupied by senior high school students, and today is also the day for their practical exam simulation. In a few days, the college entrance examination is about to take place. For students taking the path of Beastmasters, the practical examination is the top priority. Li Chang'an is the third batch of students to enter the examination room, and Wen Miaohua is lucky enough to be among the first batch. When the girl comes out, Li Chang'an has entered the gymnasium to take the exam. After the second batch of students finished taking the exam, he came to the spot marked for him to draw lots. The basic pet food preparation exam is about to begin, dear candidates. After the teacher in front finished explaining the exam precautions for more than 10 minutes, when the exam bell rang, everyone, including Li Chang'an, started working intensively. Li Chang'an had 3 ingredients for fresh salad in front of him, and so did everyone else, all with 3 ingredients. This means that everyone only has 3 chances. 20 points are awarded for successful preparation once, and 60 passing points can be obtained by making 3 portions of food. The cooked food will then be sent to a testing instrument, which will be scored based on the life energy, element content, material fusion, and other factors in the food. Each piece of food also has 10 points for judging, for a total of 30 points. The last 10 points are based on how quickly the students make the food. You can get at least 5 points by making a meal in 10 minutes. Li Chang'an's production speed is very fast. Others can make 1 meal in 10 minutes, but he can make 3 parts in 10 minutes. 3 fresh salads were made at the same time, which made the invigilator on patrol look stunned for a moment. Ah, is there still such an operation? The timepiece directly above the gymnasium was at 9 minutes and 10 seconds, and a crisp bell sounded in the quiet gymnasium. All productions for candidate number 33 are completed. Li Chang'an pressed the bell in front of the workbench. After the invigilator confirmed that it was correct, he took away the 3 fresh salads and sent them to a testing instrument in front of the workbench in time. Considering the freshness of the food, this is also the only exam with on-site results. 9.6 points, 9.7 points, 9.7 points. The comprehensive production time was 9 points, and the final score of candidate number 33 was 98 points. The mechanical electronic voice reported Li Chang'an's results, which made all the students in the audience tremble. It was also the first time for several invigilators to see such high scores. At least in the past few years of their teaching, Hongyan has always. There were no such high scores in the pet food preparation exam. One of the invigilators was a little confused. He asked the colleague next to him, "Old G, you are a history teacher. There has never been such a high score in this subject in our school." Score? The middle-aged bald teacher named Lao Ji thought for a while and said in a solemn voice, "No, the highest score for this subject since the establishment of the school was 96.8 points. The last score exceeding 95 points was 20 years ago. That is to say, they have witnessed history." Some students with sharp ears in the audience also heard the teacher's chat. They made a sudden movement in their hands and almost ruined a piece of food. Fortunately, they reacted in time and saved it. People and people. The gap between them is sometimes even greater than the gap between humans and dogs. Many students who knew about it silently said in their hearts, "Li Shen Yu Pi." Chapter 11. After the 2-day final exam, Li Chang'an went about weeding in the community with peace of mind and occasionally practiced Mao Mao's skill, fire spirit winding, in the yard. He has not yet obtained the Apprentice Beastmaster qualification certificate and does not even have access to the most basic training ground, so he can only stay at home. Since it was summer vacation, Li Chang'an felt much more relaxed. Not only did he uproot the white flowers and grass in his own community, he also made a contribution to the community next door. Finally, when the sun was about to set, the mark of white flowers and grass on the thorn collection room lit up again. Sure enough, 32 copies of the same skill stone are needed to break through the perfect level of proficiency. Li Chang'an's face was full of excitement. First, he determined the cost of proficiency breakthrough, but also determined that the upper limit of the skill was not the perfect level. Judging from the requirements for breakthrough in Fu Yin technique, a skill has to go from contact level breakthrough to mastery level. Level requires 2 copies of the same skill stone. Master level to proficiency level requires 4 copies. Proficiency level to proficiency level requires 8 copies. Proficiency level to perfect level requires 16 copies. Now he has determined that 32 copies are needed to break through to the perfect level. Li Chang'an and Mao Mao looked at each other and entered the 10% beast-controlling resonance state tacitly. Following Li Chang'an's mental instructions, the white flower mark on the thorn collection room quickly darkened and turned gray. Tiny tornadoes rolled up around Mao Mao. Meow! Oh, this feeling is so comfortable. Life energy is pouring in. Mao Mao's excited voice made Li Chang'an a little worried, for fear that the hunting notes would contaminate Mao Mao. But after the vision ended, Mao Mao looked okay. Ask Li Chang'an what to have for dinner. Apparently, Mao Mao's appetite is higher than hunting notes at the moment. Li Chang'an relaxed and immediately checked the fluffy panel through the soul contract. Name, Ryan Discatol, Mao Mao. Race, Hellfire Dragon. Attributes, Level, Infancy. Potential, Natural Ability. Low-level skills, Hellfire, Contact level. Flame Claw, Contact level. Hiding Technique, Dominance level. Intermediate level skills, Flame Spirit Coil, Mastery level. Status, a little hungry. Domination level. Above the perfection level is the dominance level. Li Chang'an immediately asked Mao Mao, What's so special about the current concealment technique? Mao Mao felt it for a while and said, "Meow. Yes, there are big changes." Immediately afterwards, the aura on Mao Mao's body floated back and forth 3 times between the pure blood dragon species, the sub-dragon species, and the mixed blood dragon species. At this time, a hint of enlightenment appeared in Li Chang'an's eyes. Dominance level. So, this is what dominance means. Feel free to control the strength of your skills. For Li Chang'an and Mao Mao, this discovery is of great significance. A very simple truth. You can easily take a tone-deaf person and change it from unpleasant to not so pleasant. But it is extremely difficult for those singers who are proficient in music and can sing well to sing tone-deaf. Even if the final effect is achieved, it will be very awkward and lose the spirituality of a tone-deaf person. The effect of the dominance level is to turn a top student pet into a top student who can control points at will. Li Chang'an is very satisfied with this effect. Many times during battles, he needs to watch others prepare food. Facing pet beasts with ordinary births, the pressure of the hybrid dragon species is enough to deter them. But if it encounters a stronger pet beast, Mao Mao can only release its original breath, and it is difficult to release a slightly weaker breath. It takes time to adjust, is very confusing in battle, and is very impractical. Now, it's better. Mao Mao can switch at will and use whatever level of coercion he wants. No time adjustment is needed at all. During the battle, the enemy originally faced the pressure of the hybrid dragon species, but at the critical moment, it suddenly turned into the pressure of a higher-level sub-dragon species. Li Chang'an could still think of the constipated expression on the face of the opposite beastmaster or monster at that time. This is a skill that creates a sure-win opportunity. Li Chang'an was very satisfied with today's harvest and plucked out a few remnants on the way back. Fortunately, I gained another hidden technique skill stone. Then, Li Chang'an's relaxed steps suddenly paused. He looked up at the unpolluted starry sky of the blue planet. It turned out that there were levels above the dominance level proficiency. The mark of white flowers and grass on the thorn collection room glows with a faint light, which means there is still room for improvement. Li Chang'an clenched his fist. It seems that I am destined to become the king of white flowers and grass in Hongyan City. Mao Mao looked confused. Why did Chang'an's blood suddenly boil? Oh, I know. This is a common symptom called Chuni Bu in human cubs. Mao Mao suddenly realized, hearing Li Chang'an's solemn words. Mao Mao, just now I felt that my pure personality was polluted by the hunting notes, and I need to use the beast-controlling resonance to calm down. Mao Mao. It seems not. After a shot of beast-controlling resonance, Li Chang'an felt refreshed and cancelled his plan to become the king of white flowers and grasses. Back home, Li Chang'an found a young man in the living room. A little less handsome than me, but also a little more mature. This man is Li Chang'an's father, who is the deputy director of the Hongyan City Ecological Research Institute. The Li family lives in Jiahai Jinliang, a frequent customer of the spiny crab washboard, and a loyal fan of Bainyao instant coffee. The angel investor of Tianshan sleeping bag, Li Mingxuan. Li Mingxuan drank the tea made by Mu Qingqing, and after Li Chang'an came in, his eyes were fixed on Mao Mao, on Li Chang'an's head. This fiery gaze was like glue, and he refused to move away, no matter what. Li Chang'an calmly put Mao Mao into the beast control space, and without even looking at Li Mingxuan, he walked straight into the kitchen to help Mu Qingqing prepare food. Meow? Don't Chang'an like your father? Li Chang'an said helplessly through soul communication. He is most likely thinking about how to study this precious species like you. Mao Mao lay down in the beast-controlling space, shrank her head, and said, Nunuo? Meow. Well, I don't like him either. The atmosphere at the Li family's dinner this time was very dull. Due to Xiao Chang'an's memory, Li Chang'an did not have a good impression of Li Mingxuan, much less favorable than Mu Qingqing. Mu Qingqing was happy to watch the show, but she would not speak up for her husband, because it was indeed his fault. Li Mingxuan couldn't bear the silent atmosphere and said, I heard that your first pet is called Mao Mao? Li Chang'an took a bite of food and responded lightly, Yeah. Do you have any skills? Li Chang'an scooped up a bowl of soup and drank it slowly. After taking a breath, those who didn't know this scene thought it was Li Mingxuan answering Li Chang'an's question. Then he said calmly, Hell Flame, Flame Claw, Yan Yan, Spirit Entanglement, and a breath-gathering skill. So much? Li Mingxuan raised his eyebrows. The father and son reacted exactly the same way at certain times. Except for Hell Flame, the rest of the skills are not special. Flame Claw and Flame Spirit are also on the skill list of other pet beast groups. Hellfire. It is written in the information left by Hongyan City that this is a growth-type skill that can be advanced to the top-level skill according to the strength of the pet beast. It is very important for Mao Mao to practice this skill well. Li Chang'an nodded slightly, but had no other reaction. Li Mingxuan opened his mouth, holding back 1,000 words in his heart, and finally gave Li Chang'an a business card. I'm angry about the phone number of the director of the Hunters Union in Hongyan City. You can just go to him directly when the time comes. Li Chang'an took the business card and said, So, you agree? A smile appeared on Li Mingxuan's face. You are willing to make progress and pursue better opportunities. I am not even happy enough. How could I disagree? Seeing that the atmosphere had eased, he asked again, A week later, are you still willing to go to the ecological park to pick up a second pet animal? Certainly. The second pet beast is not like the initial pet beast. It does not need to consider race and attributes. I saw that you chose the wood type. Do you have any advice for the pet beast? Lai. Chang'an swallowed the food in his mouth and said solemnly, It is best to be a wood pet beast with healing skills. Li Mingxuan nodded with satisfaction, not because of Li Chang'an's choice, but because of Li Chang'an's serious attitude. Many beast masters have gone astray and only pursue pet beasts with high potential and strong blood. Little do they know that the bond between humans and beasts is the strongest and most precious thing. How many geniuses suddenly realize it when they are about to break through to the king-level beastmaster and regret it? Li Chang'an has this attitude. He is very happy. I recently heard Xiao Wang say that there have been a lot fewer casualties in battles between pet beasts in the Wood System Sea area. After saying that, Li Mingxuan left the table. Li Chang'an curled his lips. He was still doing this at home. Area C. Chapter 12. The results of the final exam will not be released until a week later. During this time, Li Chang'an worked hard to meditate and practice. The reason is that he hopes to be promoted to the Level 2 Beastmaster in a week. It's a pity that things like Realm cannot be rushed, let alone that Li Chang'an has just become a Beastmaster. Without the aid of medicine and Kongming Stone, the cultivation effect is not satisfactory. According to Li Chang'angu's estimation, with his talent, it would still take 3 months to fill 500 cubic meters of beast-controlling space with magic power. He was still in Mu Qingqing's studio and used a simple mental power tester to test his side. His current mental power was about 16 talisman. There is still a certain distance between the limit of 20 spells of spiritual power for a second-level Beastmaster. This was due to his constant resonance with Mao Mao on how to control the beasts and indirectly exercising his mental power to achieve this increase. In terms of mantra power, there is no such good treatment, Comrade Lao Li specifically warned. Low-level Beastmasters of levels 1 to 3 are best not to use potions to assist their training. It can easily affect the purity of the mantra and the sensitivity to life energy. After Li Chang'an reaches the intermediate level of Beastmaster, he can start to use some pharmaceutical aids. Because the mid-level Beast Control Master has experienced a great level of improvement, his body has initially transformed into extraordinary organs and has become resistant to the impurities contained in the medicine. The body can metabolize these impurities on its own after a period of time, provided the impurity content is not high. Once you reach the high-level beast control level, you will be much more relaxed. As long as you don't use the medicine as food, taking a lot of medicine is okay. Therefore, low-level beast masters should not think about using drugs to practice, as it will easily destroy the body. Since mantra practice could not see results in a short period of time, Li Chang'an decided to focus on Mao Mao. As long as Mao Mao is trained to the awakening stage, the racial talent will be awakened. Li Chang'an relied on the energy fed back from the soul contract and the new abilities he inherited to complete most of the training of a level 1 Beastmaster. At that time, it only takes a few weeks of practice to successfully break through to the level of a level 2 Beastmaster. For this reason, Li Chang'an has been pestering his mother, Mu Qingqing, during this period to learn new fire-based spiritual food. Originally, Mu Qingqing was still very surprised, hoping that Li Chang'an could calm down and master the first few spiritual foods to a perfect level. But when she heard that the food that was most suitable for Mao Mao was created based on Mao Mao's inherited memory, Mu Qingqing was ignited with fire. Customizing a recipe for a pet beast with the blood of an ancient dragon might be a good inspiration for her currently stuck spiritual food skills. Before every meal, Mu Qingqing and Li Chang'an began to experiment with new spiritual food recipes. The main job is Mu Qingqing, while Li Chang'an is responsible for being a mouthpiece and informing Mu Qingqing of Mao Mao's feelings. Sometimes he will give his opinions from the perspective of a human beastmaster. Finally, based on Mao Mao's description and the guidance from the inherited memory, Mu Qingqing and Li Chang'an spent 5 days and finally customized a new spiritual food set meal. It's called Lava Package. The level of this set meal can be upgraded to the level of high-end spiritual food, but this is not the upper limit of this series of recipes. Due to time issues and Mu Qingqing's new inspiration, this series of spiritual food has not been completed yet. According to Ms. Mu, who is always 18 years old, she has digested all the inspiration after she studied in seclusion for a period of time. This series of Jieshi Lava Package will usher in the king-level version. Li Chang'an watched his mother hurried to the tea-house research room. It seemed that the recipe development this time had inspired her a lot. Maybe in the near future, there will be a second-level spiritual food master in my family. The levels of spiritual food blenders and blenders in other directions are similar, divided into lower levels. Intermediate and high-level mediators respectively correspond to the levels of Beastmasters. Once you reach the realm of a king-level Beastmaster and create a king-level spiritual food package, you can be called a spiritual food master. Note that it is a set meal, not a separate king-level spiritual food. Therefore, when reaching the king-level, the assessment of the master blender is particularly stringent, and one must be able to independently complete the king-level spiritual food package to be evaluated successfully. Mu Qingqing is a first-level spiritual food master. Thanks to chatting with Mu Qingqing during this period, Li Chang'an finally understood the realm after the king-level beast master. After the king level, there are throne-level and heavenly king-level beast masters, corresponding to the second-level and third-level spiritual food masters, respectively. The skill training of a blender is different from that of a beast master, and its improvement is very slow. Therefore, it often happens that the strength of a first-level harmony master is at the throne level, and his strength exceeds the realm of skill. There are too few examples of people like Mu Qingqing who match their strength and skills. That is the realm of genius. Therefore, once Mu Qingqing succeeds, her identity and status will be top-notch even in Province Z. I have to say it's great to have a master blender at home. Li Chang'an lamented his mother's career as a genius, and when he met Mao Mao, a cunning smile appeared on his lips. With the continuous feeding of fire spiritual food during this period, Mao Mao has reached the threshold of breaking through to the awakening stage. Unlike ordinary beasts that take time to digest and grow, the Hell Flame Dragon grows extremely quickly in the early stages. As long as the energy is in place, the Hell Flame Dragon can rely on its own terrifying digestive ability, as well as the unique physical condition between the elemental body and the flesh and blood body that the Hell Flame Dragon had when it was young. It can grow quickly and get rid of the weak period between the infancy and awakening stages, ensuring the chance of survival in the wild. This is the case with Mao Mao now. For the upcoming awakening period, Li Chang'an specially gave Mao Mao a day of rest to grow up with peace of mind. Li Chang'an stroked Mao Mao, who was sleeping soundly, with a look of pity on his face. This rapid growth only occurs when the Hell Flame Dragon is young. When it reaches the extraordinary level and enters the growth stage, the Hell Flame Dragon will completely stabilize its flesh and blood body, and the passive ability of body elementalization can only be achieved through skills. Naturally, it is impossible to use the gap between the elemental body and the flesh and blood body to achieve the effect of rapid growth. This can be regarded as a unique ability evolved by the ancient dragons in order to reduce the mortality rate of their cubs. After a day's rest, Li Chang'an got up early and made 5 low-level lava packages. The low-level lava set meal only includes the staple food lava jelly and the drink fire essence liquid. Lava jelly is a jelly-like food made by fusing liquefied low-level fire crystals and rock berries. The crystal-clear red jelly is sprinkled with a layer of fine particles, which looks like high-quality volcanic rock after being cooked. It not only adds energy and necessary minerals, but also improves the taste. Fire essence liquid is much simpler. It is an extract of fire essence grass and crystal peach, with some sugar added to enrich the taste. 5 lava meals are enough for Mao Mao to enter the awakening stage twice. Li Chang'an wore high-temperature protective clothing, came to the yard, and turned on the protective formation. In order to prevent others from being scared, he also specifically mentioned the highest level of the formation, adding optical camouflage, breath masking, and sound insulation effects. All is ready, except for the opportunity. At Li Chang'an's instruction, Mao Mao ate 2 lava set meals. 10 minutes later, dark red hellfire continued to appear from Mao Mao's body, and the terrifying temperature of the hellfire distorted the air. At this time, Mao Mao seemed to have a doppelganger, with a twisted figure emerging from it. As the surrounding temperature got higher and higher, Li Chang'an had retreated to the protective fence 3 meters away and opened the temperature isolation cover. As soon as the temperature isolation cover was opened, Li Chang'an felt a rare coolness. Mao Mao growled in pain, as if something in his body was preventing him from entering the awakening stage. Li Chang'an frowned. It shouldn't be. According to Mao Mao's inherited memory, it wouldn't be so difficult or painful for the Hell Flame Dragon to enter its awakening stage. Is there something missing compared to the wild Hell Flame Dragon? Meow, I still need energy in Chang'an. Li Chang'an was startled and resolutely opened the temperature isolation cover and sent 2 lava meals inside. He also used the energy diversion array that he had used once before. This thing can only be used 3 times for 10,000 yuan. What a profiteer! After Li Chang'an came out, the protective clothing on his body was already melting, which showed the horror of prison inflammation. If he stayed there any longer, this protective suit would probably be completely scrapped. At this moment, Mao Mao, who had eaten 2 more lava meals, roared, and the surrounding hellfire gathered around him and enveloped him. The awakening has begun.
This is the end of the video. Let me know down below if you like this story. See you in the next.